Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nick Kyogre Kawaii and we are here for a different type of video compared to what you might be used to seeing here on my channel. But that is okay because I hope you enjoy it. I'm really excited to talk about this topic. I will waste no more of your time. Today we are talking about the Pokemon Journeys anime, which has been out for a while in Japan, but just recently the first 13 episodes were released in the US on Netflix. So, to do this, we need to put on our reviewer, our Pokemon anime reviewer hat. So, reviewer hat is on. Make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you are new here. Hopefully this will bring some new faces to the channel. I don't really talk about the Pokemon anime. To be honest, I haven't watched the Pokemon anime a lot recently. And I'll get a little bit into that more later in the video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for checking it out. We're going to dive right into it. Basically, I kind of organized my thoughts for this video in a pro list and a con list. So that was just the best way I can think about it, because in my mind, there are things I like about the new anime and things I don't like about the new anime. And as you'll see, I think in the way you hear me talk about it, my list definitely leans more towards the pros than the cons. I'll give you a spoiler right now. I think the anime is good, and one of the better animes that I've watched recently, or the one I think better is subjective, because I'll let you know right now, everything in this video is 100% my opinion, and that's all we're talking about. I'm giving you guys my feedback, my personal review of the Pokemon Journeys, the anime on Netflix. So I think because I have more to talk about positive than I do negative about this anime, I am going to start with the pros and the things that I really enjoyed about and the way I'm talking about this is I have not seen the Japanese anime that has gone much further in the story. I am talking about my opinion on the literally only 13 episodes that are available so far of the English version of the anime on Netflix right now. So essentially this video is going to be my opinion on what we have so far, and I will ask, please don't spoil anything if you have watched the Japanese anime and seen further, since I have not, and most likely a lot of other people in the comments have not seen that. Please refrain from posting any spoilers. I will eventually see it as it comes out in English. I don't really want to watch the Pokemon anime in Japanese personally, so I would appreciate no spoilers. So the first thing I want to talk about in the pros column is the art style. I am a really big fan of the newer, updated art style, particularly in the newest series right now, Pokemon Journeys. I wasn't so much of a fan of it in Sun and Moon. I am going to put what Ash's character, specifically I guess I'm talking about how they draw the main character, Ash. In the Sun and Moon anime, they changed his look so drastically and made his eyes look a little bit less realistic, and just overall felt less realistic and way more cartoony, which it's a cartoon, it's not a big deal, but I felt like it was such a drastic change from how they used to draw the characters, and particularly how Ash and his eyes used to be drawn, that it was a little bit jarring to watch, if I'm being honest. They seem to have gone back a little bit towards the older art style in Pokemon Journeys, but they kind of blended what he used to look like with what he looked like in Sun and Moon, and found a really nice blend of those two. So that's the first thing I like. I really like how it looks visually, from the Pokemon to the characters to the way everything is drawn. It's just a very visually appealing show to watch. And one of my favorite things to look for in anything Pokemon related is whenever the characters are walking through an environment, looking for those Pokemon in the background and little things, hidden Easter eggs in Pokemon. The next thing I want to touch on is the plot, or the general concept of the show. I think this is one of the most unique concepts they've ever had in the Pokemon anime. It has been, since the beginning, pretty much a set formula, where Ash goes to a new region, he leaves behind all his Pokemon besides Pikachu, he meets up with new partners, and he travels that region and catches Pokemon and tries to get all the gym badges in that specific region. The main point is that he would always pretty much stay in one region at a time. And at the end of one season, he would go back home and then start his adventure in a new region. what I love so much about Pokemon Journeys' concept is that it is truly a story about exploration and traveling the entire Pokemon world, which is what Pokemon fans do. We play different games, we travel to different regions, we have explored the entire Pokemon world, and that's the thing. It is all one world. Everything is connected. You can go from Kanto to Johto to Hoenn to Sinnoh to Alola to Unova to Kalos, and these are all real locations that are only a plane ride away. And that is what this anime shows and delivers on really well, is that it's all one interconnected world. And Ash does travel between many different places. Again, I've only seen the first 13 episodes. So far, they have been to, I know Kanto, Hoenn, and Galar, possibly Johto as well, already just within the first 13 episodes. So they've been to 3 regions, and they've really explored a lot of the world. And it seems that this show focuses on traveling around the entire Pokemon universe, and I really, really like that concept. The next thing that I want to talk about is Go, Ash's new friend, rival, partner who he travels with in this new adventure. I think he is a cool character, but also an annoying character, and I'll elaborate, of course. The strong things I like about his character is he has a really clear motive, and I really like his motive of wanting to catch every species of Pokemon, which is something that not a lot of other trainers really do in the anime. There's been other trainers that say they want to catch them all, but most of the time the other trainers just kind of go along with whatever Ash is doing, but don't have their own unique goals. Obviously, Brock is a Pokemon breeder, and Misty was a gym leader, but they didn't really ever do much. Brock was pretty much always just cooking food and making potions and stuff, but was always there doing the same thing with Ash. That's what I like about Go, is he has his own goals. He's always trying to run off and catch Pokemon, while Ash is always wanting to go fight the strongest trainers. It really highlights what I see are the two main type of Pokemon trainers and players in the real world. Some people really like battling, and some people really like collecting and shiny hunting and catching them all. So it just kind of highlights the two different main types of Pokemon trainers, in my opinion. And I think that's really cool to have that dynamic between the two of them. Another thing that I really like about the anime is how many references they have to the main series Pokemon games and Pokemon Go. I was very surprised when in an early episode of the anime, Go talks about throwing a curveball with a Pokeball, giving him a better chance to capture a Pokemon, which, if you don't know, is a feature exclusive to Pokemon Go. If you spin the Pokeball and throw it as a curveball, you actually have a slightly higher catch chance of catching that Pokemon with that Pokeball. So that was a really, really cool reference of Pokemon Go in the Pokemon anime, which, as far as I know, has been the first reference that I can think of. A lot of other cool references are in the Pokedex. Whenever Go catches a Pokemon, it specifically references the Pokedex number. And I'm not sure if other animes have referenced the Pokedex number of Pokemon before. I'll have to do some research, and I'll throw a graphic up here on the video showing maybe some other times that has happened, or a little thing saying that this is the only time. Because in my memory, I don't remember them saying, like, okay, Bulbasaur's number 1 in the Pokedex, and Scorbunny's number 809 or 800 something. They show those Pokedex entry numbers specifically the way they are in the game, which is just another cool reference to the main series National Dex. Some other really cool references that I liked in the anime so far was in one of the final episode of the 13 that are available to watch so far on Netflix. It is a match in the Galar region where Lance battles Leon from the Galar, and Lance obviously being the champion from the Kanto region, the Dragon-type master from Kanto. So in their battle, Lance has the shiny Gyarados, which is a really cool nod to the red Gyarados and shiny Pokemon in the games, which, if you don't know, the red Gyarados is from the Johto region, actually. the Lake of Rage, and that was when they first introduced shiny Pokemon. So in the anime, when he sends out his red Gyarados, it actually has the same sparkle effect as when you throw out a shiny Pokemon in the games, which they don't often make references to shiny Pokemon in the anime, so I thought it was a really, really cool reference, and it really made me smile, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Another reference that they make to Lance's video games appearance was one that maybe some of the lesser experienced or not as diehard fans would get this. It was a really small reference where they talk about Lance winning the Pokemon World Tournament in, I think it's Castelia City over in the Unova region. A lot of the gym leaders are featured in Black and White or Black and White 2 in what's called the Pokemon World Tournament, and that was a really, really cool reference to that. The final thing that I want to say I really, really like about the anime is, again, references to the game, specifically with battle strategies. There is multiple times in the anime so far within the first 13 episodes where they reference stat boosting moves such as Dragon Dance and Swords Dance. One of my favorite parts of the anime so far is a battle in the Hoenn region, which is one of Go's first battles. Like I said, he's not really a battler. He likes catching Pokemon, but he is really knowledgeable about Pokemon type advantages and strategies. So he is using his Scyther, which is up against his opponent's Mightyena. Scyther being a bug-type Pokemon, Go realizes has the natural type advantage over Mightyena. Go uses that information and decides to set up a Swords Dance with his Scyther so that its attack power is much stronger, thinking that the Mightyena won't be able to do much to him because, again, his bug-type Scyther has the type advantage over the dark-type Mightyena. However, Mightyena is packing a fire-type move, Fire Fang, which in fact is super effective against Scyther. So, while Go uses his turn to set up a Swords Dance instead of attacking with a super effective bug-type move, he uses what he knows about type advantaging and strategies, not realizing that Mightyena gets a fire type move, which ends up biting him in the butt a little bit. But it is just a really cool reference to players analyzing the situation, thinking about type advantages, and thinking, oh, this is a safe opportunity for me to set up a Swords Dance, when in fact it might not always be because, again, your opponent might have a coverage move you were not expecting. Not often do they get into strategies in the anime. Normally the way they battle in the anime always frustrated me as someone who played the games, because the way they battle in the anime was just so different than the way it works in the games, and they didn't really utilize any of the in-game strategies. They had this, like, moves did different things, and it really didn't feel like Pokemon battling the way I know it, and is actually one of the big reasons I kind of got turned off watching the anime and why it started frustrating me a little bit to watch. You know, one of these major examples is, you know, Ash using an electric move on Onix way back in the beginning, and just Ash uses really weird battle strategies that are nothing that would ever happen in the games, where it seems like Go focuses more on the strategic analytic side of battling, which is more how players like me do it in the real world. Another example of this is Lance's Gyarados uses Dragon Dance to also boost his attack and speed, which was a very cool reference to, again, in-game battle strategies. Alright, so I've hyped up this quite enough. I am going to now tell you the things I don't like about this anime, which I'll let you know is a smaller list, because I really don't have a lot I don't like about this anime, and really my gripes about this anime are mainly things that I've always griped about with the Pokemon anime overall. Those being, for one, Ash is still a really frustrating protagonist because he's just so dumb. He never learns anything. And I get he's supposed to be a young kid, but now I'm an adult, I've been watching him go through these adventures since I was a kid, and he's just never progressed. He's never seems to learn anything that progresses through the season. He stays in the same mind state, and there's just no character development. It's hard to justify watching a show where there is really no character development. And that's just that's just storytelling 101. Having a character grow and change and learn is something that makes a show more interesting to me. And I feel like they really have failed at giving Ash any meaningful character development that lasts more than maybe an episode. So again, that and just the overall childishness and corny. It's pretty corny with the writing. I get it's a kid show, but if they catered a little bit more towards their fans who grew up playing the games, who are now adults, but still kept it okay for kids, but maybe also again started throwing in more references to serious competitive play, and maybe have Ash start actually like getting smarter as a character and learning things and getting better at battling. He's been battling for a long time and he's gone through multiple regions, battled a lot of opponents, but he doesn't seem to learn very much. I will say he seems a little bit more experienced in this show than in the past. He seems to have some better batter. He does seem to have some better battle strategies than what I've seen in the past. He seems more confident, seems to know what he's doing. So I will say they've done a little bit, but again, it's taken a long time for them to get here. I want to see more. I want to see more character development and more of him becoming a more adept battler. If he truly wants to become a Pokemon master, if that is truly what the show is going to be about, I think he needs to progress towards that goal in some sort of tangible way, besides just gaining the gym badges. The other thing I have a gripe about is just because they released it on Netflix for the English version, they only released 13 episodes, which is a very short amount of episodes for something where each episode's only 20-minute long. I finished it in about a day, maybe day and a half, and I really wanted more. And the fact that they also left it at the end of an episode on a cliffhanger where they didn't resolve whatever plot point was going on really frustrated me, because it's okay leaving it on a cliffhanger, but they didn't resolve like a story arc. Usually when you leave it on a cliffhanger, it's like they resolve one story arc and then leave a cliffhanger for what the next story arc is going to be. They left this season on a really, really cliffhanger of like, hey, this plot point that we're doing right now, you don't get to figure out how this major plot point resolves until who knows when. And I don't think they have released so far when the next season is going to be available on Netflix. So that was another gripe, is just they didn't plan well, or maybe I don't know what their plan was, but as a consumer, I didn't enjoy getting interested in a show and then feel like it was ripped away from me so quick, and now I have to sit and wonder and wait when it might be coming back. So again, those are all my main gripes with the show. The other thing I wanted to mention, the reason I don't like Go's character is his catchphrase. He's got a really annoying catchphrase. I'll play it now, but it is oh boy. I really do not like that part of his character, just his catchphrase. Everything else about him I think is really cool, but as soon as he opens his mouth to say that catchphrase, I'm just like, please stop. But anyway, yeah, those are my opinions on the anime. Really cool battles, really cool concept. I like that Go is catching a lot of Pokemon, because it lets you see a lot of Pokemon. And it's like, oh, there's that one. And the more Pokemon species you get to see on the anime, it makes me happy. So yeah, that's what I like about it. One last thing I'll say too is it seems like Team Rocket isn't showing up as much, where in the previous animes it felt like they were showing up every episode trying to steal a Pokemon and then they would defeat him. There seems to be less Team Rocket. They seem to be a little bit more in the background, and I think that's good for the show in general, because that's been played out so much. But please, if you enjoyed this video, again, leave a like and subscribe if you are new. And please leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the new anime. I'm really, really curious about what you think, because I was pleasantly surprised. Like I mentioned, I didn't dive into this earlier, but I really didn't watch the black and white anime. I really kind of stopped watching the anime during the Sinnoh. I watched the beginning of the Sinnoh anime but didn't finish it, and then I didn't really watch any of the black and white or X and Y anime, and I watched about half of the Sun and Moon anime here on Netflix but did not finish it. So this was the first anime I've watched kind of more intently. I've paid more attention to. I've watched every episode, and I plan on keeping up with it when new episodes come out. So it's exciting. I'm excited to get back into it. I think they're doing a really good job with this anime. So yeah, leave a comment down below what your favorite season of the anime for Pokemon is. Let me know your thoughts about the Pokemon journeys and what you're excited to see in the future. And again, please avoid any spoilers if you've seen anything past what's available on Netflix for the English audience. And I will leave you guys here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.